Good evening, good evening, good evening, and peace and blessings to you. It's a great day. It's a blessed day. And if you don't know anything else on this day, know that you deserve to be blessed. Well, hey. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait. What's going on? I think I changed a little something. Hold on. Let me make sure I got this. Okay, look, that's probably what it is. Hold on, y'all. Give me just a moment. Where we at? Y'all see I look kind of, okay, I'm good. Am I good? All right. Okay. I was just double checking because I looked like I was a little funny when I got in here, like something was going on. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Look, it's Friday. Good evening, and peace and blessings to you. It's a great day. It's a blessed day. It's a Friday. And if you don't know anything else on this Friday, know that you deserve to be blessed. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I've been running and trying to make sure that I'm here, but I'm actually here with you all to make it happen. So give me 1 second. Let me make sure that I got everything that I need to have. Because when I tell you I've been running. Yes, I've been running. All of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So let's make sure that I got this. And I know I keep saying it. Hold on one second. Let me make sure. So yeah. There we go. All right. Woo. We're in the building now. All right, y'all. Okay. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is Friday. And with tonight being Friday, tonight is Friday. So, y'all know that I like to have me a little drink. And I hope you brought yours tonight. Because tonight we're talking about language. We're talking about languages. We're talking about language. And it might not be exactly what you think that we're talking about tonight, but we're talking about language. Yes, what's your language, right? Do you have one? Do you know if you got one? What's your language, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And then not only that, we're going to ponder some HIV and find out what is your HIV language. Okay. See, if you get you a drink and you have fruit in it, that means it's not really a drink. It's more fruit than drink. No, too soon. Okay. Anyway, look, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go ahead on and get this thing started. You know how we do. You know how we love everything. Hey, Ebony. Hey. You know how we love to get everything started and going and having it. So the first thing that we like to do always is clear the space. Hold on, though. What I want you to do, if you can hear me, if you can see me, if you can feel me, if you got me through smoke signal, however you got me tonight, I need you to give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, bring them on in, drop down in the comments and say hi, say hello. It's the weekend. The weekend is here. I need you to come talk to me just a little bit. Okay, can you do that for me? All right, then. Come talk to me. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. Show me a little something. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and breathe. Yes, we're going to take a moment and acknowledge that your breath is important. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, while we're talking about language, what we're going to do is talk about breathing. How important is breathing to you? You should be saying breathing is 100% important to me because without breathing, I can't live. And that's what I mean when you take a breath. You take a breath, right, so that you can live, you can be free, you can break those chains that bind. That's what the breath does. So, for those of you who are tuning in tonight for the first time and you may have never been with us before, what we like to do is take 3 breaths here at the Thought to Ponder. And what we like to do is on the first breath, we like to count it out with you so you'll know what the pace is. And it's at a 5 pace, but it's not your regular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, right? And that's the way that we want to do that. So, with that being said, what we want to do tonight is take a moment and we want to breathe. So, the first breath, I'm going to count it out for you, right? The second breath, I won't count it out, but I will move my hands so that you'll know what the actual cadence is. And then the third one, which is our breath that we want to acknowledge and we want to let the universe know. The third one, you're going to make some noise when you let it go. And when you let it go, that means that basically what you're doing is letting the universe know that you're in control, that you're in control. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and start with the first breath. Do I have anybody with me? Do I have anybody with me? Do I see some thumbs up, some hearts? You're coming in. So what I want you to do is relax those shoulders. I want you to take those shoulders and relax just a little bit. And what I want you to do is think about Tina Turner and what's love got to do with it. Rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so we want to loosen the shoulders up. We want to open the chest up because when we take this breath, we want to make sure that we are good and that we're doing what needs to be done, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'll sing Legendary. We are doing what needs to be done, okay? So, yeah, let's see here. Give me just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like we're having a little bit of a glitch. I seem to be lagging just a little bit. Give me just a moment so we can check this out and see if we can't fix this. Hold one moment for me. I'm coming with the breath. I promise you. I'm coming with the breath. And I think, yep, I think that's what it was. I think I got it. Look at that. Look at that. Look how fast I fixed that. Look how fast come on. Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, move those shoulders. Give me a little Tina Turner shoulder action. Left a good job in the city. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do is on a count of 3, I want you to take that deep breath, right? You ready? 1, 2, 3. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. There we go. Yes, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Y'all ready? Loosen them shoulders up. Open that chest up just a little bit. Y'all ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Deep breath in. And out. Yes. Get it out. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right, right. Y'all with me? Okay, I see you. I see y'all out there. I see y'all doing what y'all need to do. I see you. I see you. All right. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and here's the last one. Now remember, I said on this last breath, what I want you to do, I want you to take this breath in, and when you take it in, I want you to think about that thing, that problem, that concern, that issue, or whatever it is, and I want you to let the universe know that you're in control. And how do you do that? You take it in, and when you release it, you send it to the farthest reaches of the universe, right? Or you send it to the deepest part of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? So it can't come back around and mess with you like that. You with me? So that's what I want you to do tonight. I want you to make sure that you are thinking about that thing. And then here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't always have to be a bad thing, right? It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. It can be something good that's happening in your life that you want longevity on. You think about it, take it in, but make some noise when you let it go, so you let the universe know that you're in control. All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You ready? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Deep breath in. And and a woo woo woo. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, yeah. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we believe here at the Thought to Ponder that if you take that breath and you let that breath go and you make some noise when you're releasing that breath, that means that you are acknowledging that your breath is important and that you are in control of that breath, which means your life. That's what that means, right? So I want to make sure that we are there. I want to make sure that we are good. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I feel it. I feel it. Can I get some hearts? Can I get some thumbs up? Let me see it. Let me see him. Let me see him. Okay, there we go. There we go. I see a little something. I see a little something. All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know we like to clear the air. And then after we clear the air, we like to do a little something which I call a Titan's groove. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready? Okay. Okay. So I don't know who this is for. Whoever this is right here, yeah, it's time for you to get in the Titans groove. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Well, if you're ready, then let's go. Let's get it. Y'all thought I froze, didn't you? Anyway, sit it da 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 da. Sit it da 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 da. Soon da 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 da. T2P, check me out. Check me out. T2P, check me out. T2P, check me out. T2P, check me out. The white dot dot. No, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I am being truly silly today, but our topic today is language. And that's our thought. Let's go ahead on and get into the thought today. Language. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thought today would be a good day for us to talk about language, right? And this is the reason why I think that language is important, especially with me being a Black, gay, and HIV positive male. A lot of times, what happens is that we get into conversations with people, and people tend to want to tell us what our language is, what we should answer to, how we should look at things, how we should feel, and how we should do. And so I wanted to get into that today just to make sure that we have some language, right, on how to address certain things and how to do certain things, okay? And so I want to make sure that we are good to go when we do this. A lot of times people will tell you that your language doesn't mean anything, but everybody has a language. At least that's what I've come to find out, that everybody has a language. I'm sorry for turning these pages, y'all. I was trying to get to my little notes here. Okay. So first I want to say this, right? That words are a part of language, right? And words help shape our understanding of the world that we live in. So think about what I just said. Words help shape our understanding of the world that we live in. Okay? So when you're using the language, and this is what we think of sometimes. Sometimes we think that our language is something that is just spoken, right? But there's a mental language, there's a physical language, there's a spiritual language, there's a language that's unseen that connects us all, right? And you can call it a vibe, you can call it energy, you can call it that, but it's a language, right? And then you have to think about it too, right? So words, if they define who we are or what we are or our experiences, then what does the language do? Okay, so words are words, right? The language is how we communicate from one another. You know your language, right? And then most of the time, whenever we talk about language, we talk about whether or not you a dialect, right? We talk about Spanish. We talk about I don't know. We talk about Chinese, Vietnamese. We talk about French. We talk about other languages that we have, you know. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, that's your language," but there are other things that has languages, like your mental capacity. A lot of times, you're speaking a language, right, of what you can actually hold or what you can actually do, right? What your capacity is, right? Mentally, you actually can express that throughout your body physically, right? A lot of times, some people don't have the right language to do the things that they think that they should be able to do. This is something that I learned. I learned that my language is a help language. My language is to help everybody do everything and to make sure that everything is right, right? But I also have a language of not taking care of myself. I also have a language of putting myself to the side, right? Now I know y'all didn't think I was going down this road, but I want to talk to you. Your language, right, depends on where you are, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and who you are, right? We all have a language. But remember what I said in the beginning, words help shape. And if words help shape the language, then you need to be able to express what your language is through words. And a lot of times, sometimes, well, most of the time, the words are not good for us. And I'm speaking LBGTQIA. I'm speaking being a black gay male, right? I'm speaking being HIV positive. I'm speaking a lot of things. A lot of times words will come at you to attack you, break you down, take you to places that you shouldn't be going because people don't know how to use language. You understand what I'm saying? Now, there's one language that you can roll up on me. You know what I'm saying? Pop, 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 pop. But there's another language that you roll up on me, pop, 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 you're going to get popcorn, elbows. You're going to get those. So we got to be careful with the language. Mentally, we're speaking a language. Physically, we speak a language. Spiritually, we speak a language. And sometimes some people are not on that level to understand what your language is. Sometimes they down here and you up here, and your language is so high tech, they can't understand it. So in order for you to make them understand, you got to come down to their level. But when you do that, you leave yourself open for this negative, this crazy language that literally you already know because you didn't moved up here, right? And you bring it down. A lot of times what they tell you is to meet people where they're at. And sometimes I try to meet people where they're at. And I'm going to speak for myself. I can't speak for nobody else. I try to meet them where they're at with their language. And sometimes their language is stigmatizing, right? Their language is nasty. It's vulgar, right? Their language does not register on my level of language because I'm not supposed to be there. Now, a lot of people probably watching tonight and probably going to rewatch this later, probably saying, Titan, oh, you bougie like that, Titan? Oh, you didn't know. I'm being honest. I'm being open and honest. Most of the time, your language is not this person's language over here. Most of the time, this person's talking this language, it's not for you. Sometimes, have you ever stopped and asked yourself, I can't understand nothing they're saying. It's not for you. And that's just real talk. Now, you can sit here and say what you want to say about the thought to ponder what Titan is saying, but you hear me. There's a lot of times where you didn't got into a relationship and y'all were not speaking the same language. Mentally, physically, sexually. Let's talk about the language. Let's talk about the language. So tonight I wanted to talk about language because I think it's important. I think just because you learned a certain language at a certain place and time in your life, it doesn't mean that that language is for everybody and everything that you go through throughout your life. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Tell me if you understand me, because tell me if I got you lost, because I don't want to take you on a journey where you're not ready to come with me or you're not understanding where I'm going, right? Language is important, but it's just not the words. I can tell a lot by a person by not even speaking a word. It's your body language. It's how you sitting. It's how you looking. It's that spiritual energy that I'm feeling. That's a language. You ever heard somebody tell you that you telling me something without even talking? That's what that is. That's what that is. So we have to learn the language. We have to understand what language is, right? And then if you think about it, so most of us have had one of those days, right? Where somebody says something to you and it just messed up your whole day. Mess up your whole day. It changes the whole atmosphere in the room. It makes things go sour, if you would, right? Have you ever had somebody do that? Like one day you out, you got your language, yeah. Um, mm, 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 This is my language, my happy language, my happy language. And then somebody comes in and throws a word or two or three into your happy language, and it screws everything. It f's everything up. But this is what gets me. That person just came in and flipped your world on its ear and then left. You understand what I'm saying? So we as people who are conveyors, who are understanding of acknowledging these languages, we got to understand what language doesn't bother us, shouldn't bother us, shouldn't even seep into our pores to make us feel some kind of way. I got a story really quickly. I had somebody tell me that another person said that I think I'm all that. I got this show and I'm doing all this stuff. And y'all know I'm the most humble person you're ever going to meet. But what was crazy was that this was the same person that was begging to come on to my show and be on my show and do all this type of thing, right? But they don't like that gay stuff, but they want to be on my show. And so I said straight to them in with my words, my language, that's a no-go. That's a no-go. You cannot be against me, but want to be on my show. You can't be against me and want to do what I do or be on something that represents me. I'm not bringing you on my platform for what? I don't need your language. And if somebody say, oh, well, you should have both sides of it. I don't need that side. Now I'm gonna talk real quick. Let me take a swig because Here's the thing. Y'all, I'm the most loving person. I don't have an evil, nasty bone in my body. At least I don't think so. Right hand to God. But what I will not do is allow you to come onto my platform and spew hate, right? Stigmatize my listeners and my readers and my viewers. I will not have you come onto my platform, which I've worked so hard to get to, for you to take it out. What did I just say? I said most of us have a good day until somebody throws some words and language at us that messes us all up. I'm building a platform so that people can come on to my platform and know what it feels like to be uplifted, to have some inspiration, to be okay in this space, in this place that I'm in. And then I'm gonna bring somebody on that's gonna have some language that counteracts all of that. That's gonna take you down a rabbit hole. Not this one. Not this one. So I said to the person, first off, don't ever come and tell me anything else that person says, because that person means nothing to me at that level. You feel me? Number two, what was your reasoning behind that? And then number three, y'all were having a whole conversation about me. And I said, what did you say when he said all this stuff? Oh, well, I just thought I'd let you know what it was. So you sat in the middle of all this hate and nastiness. He don't do the punk stuff. He don't do that gay-ish. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody like that on my show. And especially I don't need nobody like that in my circle and in my family, my village, and my tribe. I don't need none of that. You feel me? And a lot of times people say, oh, well, Titan, you got to have both sides of the coin. I don't need that side of the coin. What do I need that side of the coin for? So I'm going to tell you all now. This is what I want to say to you tonight. Your language, when you find your language, when you find your purpose, when you find your reasoning, when you begin to do what it is that you're going to do, you tell those people to kick rocks. You tell them, let them know there's no reason for you to be PC. Why should I be PC? He wasn't PC when he called me everything but except my name. He wasn't PC when he was telling everybody that he was going on to this gay show. And I'm sure he's watching tonight. And he didn't even know I knew that. I just said that tonight. I ain't told nobody that before tonight. Here's my thing. When I speak my language, I'm speaking clearly. This is my platform. I'm a Black gay male who is HIV positive, and I have been announcing that since I can remember, since I've been on this journey doing what I'm doing. And ain't nobody coming through these walls unless I invite them in. And if I invite them in and they have stigmatizing language and they homophobia and transphobia and all these phobias, I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. I'm not about to sugarcoat it. I'm not about to sit up here and argue with you back and forth. I watched Oprah one time, and Oprah said, because she brought some Ku Klux Klan and some white supremacists on her show, and they ran amok. The show went crazy. And before they went to commercial break, she said, go to commercial break. She was talking to them, and she said, this will never happen again. I don't care what nobody wants to know or wants to say. I will never give you a platform of my 15, 20 million people or whatever it is, right? Now, I may not have 15, 20 million or whatever the case may be. And you know what? I'm going to even tell you right now, I may only have 50. But I'm not going to give you any piece of this platform with my 50 subscribers, because that's what he said. After I told him no, all of a sudden, anybody want to be on your show? You ain't got nothing but 50 subscribers on YouTube or something like that, and you ain't really doing it big like that anyways. But you wanted to come on my show, and then that just further tells me your language. Your language. I knew something wasn't right, and I asked the person that told me about him. I asked them. I said, "So you already checked him out? You've already, vetted him. You know what's going on? Oh yeah, he cool people. He this and that." And I had to tell her, "I won't be accepting any more people from you because you're looking at him because he's fine." That's what that was. Because ain't no way in the world you missed all of that on his page. So I went to his page to check him out to see what his language was. And his language was nastiness. His language was anger. His language was homophobic. It was transphobic. His language was every bit of, we are not going to ever reach heaven. So I don't even know why we're trying. We are the devil, basically, right? Because we're LGBTQIA. And then on top of that, he was basically saying that we should be done away with. Y'all, why would I do that? Why would I do that? So we're talking about language. What's your language? What's your language? What's your language? Find out what your language is and use your words accordingly, right? I don't want you to think that I'm telling you that your language is not acceptable because you may not speak at a level that somebody else speaks. I didn't say that. What I said was we got to be careful with who we let into our circles, who we deal with, and the type of language they bring into our safe spaces, into our brave spaces. I'm not doing that. And he wasn't the first one. I've had a couple of others reach out to me and say little things, you know what I'm saying, that they think was cute, joke about being gay, joke about people dressing up as women. And I'm saying that because that's what they said to me. And I'm saying, well, whoa. What have they done to you? Not a thing. So we're going to stop this conversation here. And me and you, we have nothing else to say to each other. Oh, so it's like that, Titan? Yeah, it's like that. Because if you're talking about my community and you're talking about me and you're saying that I should not be living, I should not be a child of God, I'm a sinner, I can't do this. Well, who else you think you're talking to? Like one time in the military, my military buddies, so I thought, Caucasian, gonna say, oh, those ninjas. And then I looked at them like, what? Because we was ready to bounce. We was ready to pounce. Like, tear that whole break room up. Oh, not like you, not like you. No, I'm black. I'm black. When I'm pulled over, when I'm out in the streets, the thing, I'm black. They don't stop and say, "Oh, not like you." And then some of my black friends or my black army buddies was telling me that I talk white. I don't even know what that means. Like I can't have a good dialect. I can't have a good diction. I can't talk, a certain way. Why are you talking like that? So it's about language. When you learn your language, ladies and gentlemen, you stay with your language. You keep your language. You understand that your language is your purpose. What comes out of your mouth has purpose. Remember that. And then 9 times out of 10, what comes out your mouth can cut like a knife if it's not used in the right way, if it's not used accordingly. So I want you to understand that language is important. Language and how you move around this world, language and how you move in corporate, language and how you move with your business, language and how you talk to your partner, language and how you live and where you go and places that you visit. Language is important. And I know y'all probably thinking, Titan, what is it with the language part? But what is your language? Is your language good? Is your language inviting? Is your language understandable? Is your language spiritual? Is your language physical? Is your language mental? Is your language emotional? Like, what's your language? What's your language? Baby, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you what my language is now. It wasn't always this. My language is purpose. That's my language. So everything that comes along with purpose, that is my language. I don't have time to play the games with you of the back and the forth and what you're doing and this and that. I don't have time for that because I've missed out on so much trying to have your language when I should have been having my own language. You feel me? I'm trying to bop and talk like you and look like you and walk like you and do all this kind of stuff. And it does nothing for me. I was lost. What was my language? Now that I know what my language is, purpose. Now that I know what my language is, peace. Now that I know what my language is, truth and honesty. For me, that's my language. So I'm not going to jeopardize my language by playing with you any day. Not going to happen. I stand strong in where I'm at, who I am, and what I bring to the table. And if y'all see, I'm getting kind of crunk because I'm using the hand. If there comes a time where I question what it is that I'm doing, then more than likely, what the heck? Whoa, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Whew, I think we're gonna have to go to a commercial because there is a bug flying in my house. You know what? You cannot make this stuff up. I was getting crunk about my language, and there you go. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, look, know your language. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna take a little commercial break because that's a big bug, and I ain't got time for the okie doke. See, that bug got a language. That bug came in here and changed the whole thing, dropped right down and changed the whole thing. Let's get that commercial, Kwame. Let's pay some bills, and we'll be back with Pondering HIV. Go ahead. It's a Friday. Now look.
So this week, I want to talk.
You are here on the link. That's right.
You mamas, greetings. It is
We're going to take a trip down Batty Boulevard and bring you.
Is there such a thing as acting too black?
These are your gorgeous earrings that come with the set. So
Baby. Let me tell you, I don't know what that little thing that went to, but we gonna fight up in this camp. Don't be rolling up on me like that, rolling up on me like I'm in a training bra. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's ponder HIV. Let's do that. Let's do that. So here's what I want to say to you all. HIV has a language. And let's see if you can identify this language, right? There is such language as let's see, HIV infected person, HIV or AIDS patient, AIDS or HIV carrier, right? That's not a language that's conducive to us for those of us that are HIV positive, right? See, language can make or break. Language, remember what I said earlier, language can cut like a knife. Words have power, right? And what we don't want you to do, we don't want you saying things like HIV or AIDS patient, you know what I'm saying? Or AIDS or HIV carrier, right? Or the one that I hear all the time, you know what I mean? Is full-blown AIDS. What? What's happening? So let's look at it. HIV or AIDS patient? AIDS or HIV carrier? Why not person living with HIV? Right? PLIV. Right? We don't want to use infected or infecting or when referring to a person because, see, ladies and gentlemen, what happens is when we use words like that, we take away the power of the person to be positive about their diagnosis, right? It's already looked at as a death sentence. I've heard words, and I'm going to go down the list really quickly here, but your language matters, right? So we don't want to use those. So person living with HIV, let's try that instead of AIDS patient or whatever it is that you're using, right? HIVers, I've heard that, which I don't even know why, right? Died of AIDS or to die of AIDS, right? Died of AIDS-related illness, right? AIDS-related complications or end-stage HIV. We can use those words. And so here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, most of the time, right, it says AIDS-related illness. It's not AIDS that's actually killing you. It's that illness, right? And so when people say that, you want to take the stigma off of the word. You feel what I'm saying? You want to take the stigma off of the word. Full-blown AIDS. Like I've heard that just recently. And they're full-blown. That's not what we want to do. Because you don't give the person that's HIV positive like myself, you don't give them the chance to really register what is actually going on. I already think that I'm dying, and then you're going to tell me I have full-blown AIDS, like I'm nasty, like I'm diseased, like I can never live a good life. And I want to say this because I've heard these words and people will say, oh, well, we don't want to say that type. No, we need to talk about this because we don't want people in and around us. And most of the time it's our family. Most of the time it's those people that are close to us that are still using this derogatory language to describe who we are. You heard what I said? Derogatory language. Look, you don't know what derogatory means. Look it up. Nasty language to describe me, but you love me. You feel me? But here's the thing. We want to make sure that we're all educated. We want to make sure that we're all there. So take full blown out of your vocabulary, period. I don't even know where that came from and why they would say full blown. But it had to be somebody who really didn't care about HIV positive individuals because I would have never used that. What? Full blown. Come on. Let's see. HIV infections. Okay. HIV transmissions, diagnosed with HIV, You see what I'm saying? And so, ladies and gentlemen, I know somebody is going to combat me with this because somebody said this before, that they have went on to certain sites like the cdc.gov or something like that, and they still use the word infected, right? And we're trying to change that because it just sounds nasty. Here's my thing. The language is easy to change if we know what that is, right? And so we are still going off of things that happen. HIV is 40 years old. The anniversary was this year. 40 years old. 40 years ago, we're still using the same language, right? We're still using the derogatory language to describe who we are. And I'm not saying that it's coming from people that are HIV negative. This is some stuff that I've heard from people that are HIV positive. Why? Because it has been taught, it has been pushed into our community various ways to where we don't really understand what that is. So tonight, when I'm talking about language, I don't want you to talk about the number of infections. You feel me? The number of diagnosed with HIV, okay? The number of HIV acquisitions. You can play with it however you want to play with it. But when you say things like infected, oh, Titan's infected. What do people think right off the bat? And see, this is what we have to be careful with. You're not only using this language, you are actually sitting here putting my life in jeopardy because the other person that's hearing what you're saying, they don't know what's going on. So I'm going to give y'all a quick story real quick. I was diagnosed with AIDS. The people said to me that I had full-blown AIDS, though that Titan was full-blown. I still remember, and it still cuts like a knife today, because these were the same people that said they loved me. But here's the thing, they didn't know any better at the time. We talk now, and now they understand, and they come with me. They come to me and they say, oh, Titan, this and that, whatever have you. Oh, yes, I understand. And they get it, you know. But back then, and this was 2005, so it really wasn't that long ago, they were saying things like that. But here's what I want you all to understand. And if you don't get it before, if you didn't get it before, you can get it now. Every time I heard those words, every time those words were presented to me in a language, it hurt. It made me sad. It made me feel like I should not be here because I'm infected, right? I'm diseased. I'm nasty. This is my punishment for doing what I did. And all along, nobody knew what I had done. But because I was gay and I was HIV positive, I had already did the do. You feel me on that language? So that language, I'm having me a good day. And then here they come with this language, cutting me down every time. And back then, I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the experience. I didn't have the purpose to be able to tell you what my language was. And my language was help. I didn't know nothing. I needed help. But you were steady digging at me and throwing daggers at me with these words, with this language. You can, like I hear people say bodily fluids, right? But we know not all bodily fluids, you can have HIV transmission. So why not just say what the bodily fluid is? That clarifies. You feel me? That clarifies. And then this is what I want to say to people. When you say things like victims and sufferers and contaminated and sick and things like that, you can just describe me as a person with HIV. You can just describe me. I say all the time, I'm HIV positive. I don't have any quills about that. But I remember sitting in rooms and spaces and places where people basically just told me what I was. That's not how we do. That's not how we do. Okay? That's not how we do. HIV and AIDS are different. They are different, right? So when your CD4 cells fall below 200, then we would say AIDS, or we would say stage 3, right? I use AIDS, and a lot of people are going to talk about this, but let me express to you why I use that. I was diagnosed with AIDS. I was not diagnosed with stage 3 HIV. I was not diagnosed with stage 5, 6, 7, or 8. And I know a lot of people will say, well, it's language first. Yes, it is. It is. But this is real to my story. I'm not using it against anybody. I'm telling you what I was diagnosed with. And that's how I was diagnosed with AIDS. So a lot of times people don't really understand that. And they say, Titan, why are you still saying that? Because it's real to me. It's my life. It's what happened in my life. And so I always preface it with the fact that this is me. I don't speak for everybody in the LGBTQIA community. Now I can stand up. I can advocate. You know what I'm saying? I can do those things for everybody in the LGBTQIA. I can do that. But when I'm talking about this is me. This is mine. This is my story. So I'm going to express to you what it was for me, so you can understand where I'm at. Like a lot of times people don't get it. They think that I just got into this game. I've been 16 years HIV positive. But if I can be real, the doctor walked into the room, told me I had AIDS, and walked out. I was diagnosed with AIDS because I only had 4 T cells. And so that's the reason I use AIDS like that, because I only had 4 T cells. And then here I am. And that last time I checked, I'm at 983. And I know you're probably saying, Titan, that's 16 years ago. But look at the language, look at the words. When they told me that I had 4 T cells, I thought I was dead and gone. I even prayed, Lord, take me. Because what am I going to do? I had never heard of 4 T cells. I had never heard that somebody close to me had AIDS. I had never heard of that, let alone myself. You feel what I'm saying? It's all about language. It's what that language is. It's what that language is used for. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want you to know about language. Let's change some things. Let's talk to our families. Let's talk to our friends. Let's talk to the people that are around us and let them know you can't do that. Just like misgendering a transgender woman or a transgender man, misgendering people because you feel the need to do so. Thank you, Casey. You feel the need to do so. That's not what we're doing. That's not what your language, words have power. And what I want you to do is to use that power for good, to uplift, to bring somebody closer, right? To let somebody be able to understand their purpose. Because once you've been diagnosed with HIV, right? Even though it's not a death sentence, people still feel that it is. You understand what I'm saying? So language is important. Ladies and gentlemen, I kind of went off the rails a little bit. I do apologize. But let me express something to you. HIV, your language for HIV should be a language of promise, should be a language of purpose, should be a language of uplifting. Because this is what we want you to know. Even though you think that we should not be living on this earth and we're not going to see God and do all this kind of stuff and we're being punished, we are just as scared as you are. We're just as scared as you are. We are living in fear and trembling. Because this language, it's already enough. That man told me that I had AIDS and walked out of the room. I didn't know what to do. And I thank God till today that my mama was there, because if she wouldn't, I don't know what would have happened. Language first. Remember that you are not the one carrying the disease. You are not the one transmitted the disease. You are not the one that goes in every month or every other 3 months or every 3 months and go in. You're not the one getting all these vials of blood taken. You're not the one doing all of this. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you can't be grown and handle your business. But what I am saying is that 9 times out of 10, you have said that derogatory language to this person, and this person has said nothing because it cut them like a knife. That's all I'm saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there you go again. This doggone bug, I'm telling you. Y'all, I just killed the bug up in this mug. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead on and head down to what is happening. Let's go ahead to this final thought so we can get out of here. Let's get this final thought. What is happening? All right, ladies and gentlemen, look, my final thought tonight is language is important. Language is important. Find out your language. Find out what makes you tick. Find out what you're not going to put up with. Find out what type of language you are truly trying to speak or trying to convey, right? Because here's what happens. When you don't know your language, you will slip into everybody else's language. However derogatory, however nasty, however vile it is, you will slip into that because you'll let it pass you right on by. You won't say anything. But when you know your language, when you know what your language is about, when your language is purpose, when your language is life, when your language is accountability, you're not going to let stuff like that roll with you. Know your language. And I'm not talking about French, Spanish, English. I'm talking about know your language, your mental language, your emotional language, your physical language, your spiritual language. Know your language. Because I'm telling you, what's going to happen one day, you're going to be standing in the middle of people speaking all kind of languages, and it's going to sound foreign to you because you're not going to know where you stand. And where I was right in that place about 2.5, 3 years ago. Standing in a smack dab in the middle, not knowing what my language is because I didn't know my purpose. I didn't understand while I was still here. I didn't understand why when that doctor walked in there and told me that I had AIDS and walked out. I didn't understand when I had 4 T cells. I didn't understand when I started having seizures and I prayed for death. I didn't understand what my purpose was. I didn't know my language. I know my language. I know what my language is comprised of. And I know what I was put on this earth to do was to pop, speak, let you know my language at every chance I get, because there's somebody out there that needs to hear my language, know my language, understand my language. Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me? Language is important. Know your language. Know your language. And then if you don't know your language, know your family's language. Know your friends and stuff language. Know your language. You got to know your language, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. Okay, let me go ahead on and stop because, baby, this bug is wearing me low. I thought I had literally almost killed it, but it looks like it sounds like it's popping off and going here. This bug got a language. This bug is this bug is saying, your language don't matter tonight, bro. My language matters. So I'm going to fly around this room until you pay me some attention. And that is not the language. Look, I ain't scared of no bug. Notice what I said. But I might be a little bit scared. You feel me? You feel me? Yes, Ian, yes. Wait a minute. So, Ian, I don't have a bust down? I don't have a bust down, Ian? Is that how it is? That's how it is? I had to switch it up on you. I had to switch it up on you. But look, ladies and gentlemen, know your language. Know your language. And if you know of anybody who's HIV positive, who's dealing with HIV, who's thriving with HIV, who is going in to be tested, doing anything around HIV or any type, or any type of testing, STIs, anything like that, know your language. Know your language, right? Your language should uplift the person. Your language should help the person. Your language should be one of understanding. You understand what I'm saying? Because look, I'm telling you now, you come around me and you say full blown, me and you might have to box. I'm just trying to figure out where it say full blown. Where in the medical book does it say full blown? Just tell me. Let me know. Point it out. Let me go there so I can go talk to them. Know your language. Your language is your purpose. Your purpose is how you convey to others who, what, and where you are. That part. Period. Okay? Look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be right here with the Thought to Ponder. Now, look, I want you to come and take a sip of the thought with me. Don't sip with nobody else because this is a sip. And I will fight you if you say it was a slurp. It's a sip, baby. Look, I'll see y'all next Friday. Now, look, I don't believe you were put on this earth to do nothing else but to be blessed and to be a blessing. If you're blessed, then you're already blessing somebody. If you're blessing somebody, then you're already blessed. Look at that. Look at that. You're blessed all the way around. Until next time, peace.